Obviously, having those two guys in the top seven that can offer spin options, and we saw the benefit with Glenn yesterday being able to do that. But we certainly didn't think it was going to spin as much as what it did with the turn and bounce that was on offer over the last couple of days.
Can you walk us through what was not bowling on that second morning and why you didn't?
Yeah, there wasn't obviously as much offer there. I think two right-handers were in, so we sort of went with Rutchin before Glenn in the first innings, and I guess you got the benefit of hindsight in the second innings and what he did. And I think in that first innings, you look at the surface and you probably think your seam is your first option. So yeah, that's probably why.
Tim, will there be a temptation if you get up to Hadley, generally a green pitch, to get a spinner in there, or will you kind of intend to stick with four in those sort of circumstances?
Well, we'll go to Hagley and we'll assess the wicket, hopefully a little bit better than what we did here. But yeah, it's a ground that has offered I guess options for those four seamers in the past. But we'll get down there and have a closer look, and then we'll make a decision.
The obvious follow-up to that is will a walk fit to bowl, and if not, will there be a question asked?
Yeah, I guess we'll be monitored, and there'll be an update on him over the next 24 hours, I'd imagine. And then from there, we obviously have to go on and make a decision on who comes in and what role we sort of see that playing out in Christchurch.
Is Wagner available though? Like, is that another question? I'm pretty sure Kitty Fan on it.
Yeah, I think.
Last week.
Well, he's had a great reception here over the last week, where got a couple of moments on the field, and obviously he's been a fan favourite for a long time. So yeah, it's obviously the Test match just finished, so we'll see how Will scrubs up, and we'll go from there. Well, we've just come off. We haven't had a lot of discussions as yet, so we'll see how Will scrubs up. Hasn't had a physio hasn't sort of put a time frame on it or how bad it is, so we'll just wait and see how Will goes over the next couple of days. I'm sure there'll be an update in the next 24 hours.
And speaking of seamers, Scott Goodline's offered very little in his two tests. Is it time to look elsewhere?
Yeah, I guess with that role with the four seamers and batting at 8, he's leading the wicket taker in the Plunket Shield so far this season. He's bowled it well at times. Tough out there into that wind. The job he did, picked up a couple of wickets in the first innings, which were crucial. It's obviously a very small sample size in the two matches he's played, and there's a bit of time a year between Test matches as well. It's not easy to come in and make an impact straight away.
There was talk of his genuine pace as a reason for his selection. He was in the low 130s most of the tests, as far as I saw. Is there more pace on offer there? What are you seeing in that regard?
Yeah, again, it's I don't know whether he went outside a lot in that time, but the wind was fairly strong at times. It's a different role into the wind. Obviously, it's tougher to bowl that fast into the wind, but he's shown in the past that he's got that extra yard of pace, and I'm sure obviously still finding his feet at Test level. So yeah, he certainly does have that extra yard that he's shown in domestic cricket.
Loading issues being what they are, is there any way of Trent getting into the team in short spells?
I don't think his loading's up to it on the back of T20 cricket. Obviously, he's a world-class player and has been for a long time for us. But it's been a couple of years since he's obviously chucked the whites on. So yeah, I'd imagine it's probably a bridge too far to get him ready in a week's time, well, a few days' time.
Tim, is there anything with a couple of days that you might have done differently? I suppose on a couple of instances, that first innings where you probably could have knocked Australia over for 200, 250.
Yeah, I think looking back on that, it's probably that hurt a lot. That last wicket partnership, Cam Green's innings was where you look at the difference between that and the rest of the batting throughout the Test match. He played an absolute blinder for a young guy to come in and play the way he did. A chanceless 170 odd. And that was probably the difference. Obviously, that last wicket partnership, the way that he was able to bat with Josh, just really, probably took the game away from us a little bit there. But yeah, obviously, benefit of hindsight, probably could have done things slightly different on that second morning when we had such a good day on that day one.
Tim, you've seen Australia and also you raised this now. Why are they such a hard team to play for the New Zealand team specifically?
Yeah, they're a good side. They have been for a very long time. But yeah, I think, like I said, Cam Green's innings was a big difference between the two sides, and obviously with Nathan Lyon having that extra spin and bounce on offer showed his class as well. But yeah, we'll reflect over the next couple of days, and we'll reassess and go again in Christchurch. But they're a good side. Like I said, they've shown that for a long period of time. They're a well balanced side. Great seamers, obviously a very good spinner, and you're throwing a few good batters as well. So it's a no, I think just the way that they're a relentless group with the ball, obviously with their experience with the ball, that bowling attack's got a lot of games, a lot of wickets under their belt. But it's like the game you come up against the best, you got to be that little bit better.
On that note, was that discussed in the lead-up in terms of recent years? They seem to have this hole in whatever it is in Test cricket. Was that discussed in the lead-up? How can you actually address that in the next few days or 2 days?
No, I think you look and the way that we can. I think you look at things you can control, and it's the way we prepare. And like every game, you sort of look back, you reflect, and you try and be better the next time you go out there. Whether that's a win or a loss or a draw, you're sort of looking at ways to get better. So I think, like every game, I think a lot of focus will be on us and how we go about our game. We go to a ground that we've had a lot of success at, assess conditions down there and go again.
I guess you have no control over the scheduling bit, but does it make your life even harder when you have to play the first test on a pitch which on the face of it seems to favor their bowlers more than even yours?
Yeah, but we've played a lot of cricket here, and I haven't seen it spin like that. So it's a tough one, but it's I guess you look back on it over the last few days, and things. I guess if you knew what was going to happen, you'd do things slightly differently. But that's the beauty of live sport, that you make decisions and you get on with them and try and make the best out of the decisions you made.
And does this one hurt more than recent losses to Australia, given how many moments there were when you were on top, like bottom out for 164 seconds, best day one, whatever it was for 6? So really, does it hurt more that given how good you were for large stretches of that?
Yeah, I guess like every game, it ebbs and flows, and there's moments and matches, and you look back after day one, it was probably that morning on day two where we got things slightly wrong. So like sport, there's moments and games that you look back on, and with the benefit of hindsight, you do things slightly differently. Then things may have panned out slightly different. But
do you wish you'd given Glenn a crack on that second morning now after seeing what a bit of a golden now?
there's a number of things you look back on, and you probably would have done slightly differently, but that was the decision we made at the time, and we probably got it slightly wrong on that second morning.
What are some of the things you're thinking of that you could have done differently?
I think we probably could have tried to get Green out on that second morning rather than sort of. I think the way he played that night before, we thought he was probably going to come out and play some shots, but we probably could have looked to get him out on that second morning and make things slightly easier than what we did.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, guys.